Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's just a tool that is available, personally, I don't do any ZBrush kind of work, but like Barsom had just mentioned, I guess depending on the project, if for a certain purpose, if you're doing a presentation, yes, a digital version might be quick and easy to do, but I guess in terms of artistic creation, you still have to have that, again, that human touch to drive the design, the overall design. So I guess, in that sense, the digital media is just an added tool to a sculpture. It does not replace the human element, but it is there if you want to use it.
Yeah, I can see it being used as an advantage, certainly, but as with any new technology, it will only be as good as the artist and the creativity behind it.
Another thing I wanted to hit on before we open it up for questions, and I know this is something up and coming sculptors, people who are starting out, ask a lot. Is how sort of the question of how do I get hired? How could I get in to the industry? And Jarrod and I can't hire anybody, so we have no answer for them. But guys up here, Clay Moore does hire people, and I'd like him and maybe Jordu about the film industry. Clay can talk really about your portfolio, what to show, what not to show, etc. Clay?
At this point in my career, I'm more doing my own pieces, but I do hire for certain things. It doesn't mean that tomorrow I won't get a project I can't pass up that I don't have time to do. So I'll use what my criteria was in the past. And for me, you don't want to do too many pieces in your portfolio. Pick your best work. Don't keep carrying around the piece you did as a freshman in college that you tweaked over and over and over. You just want to slough off and get rid of the other stuff. You want to impress people with your best work. They want to see how good you are now. Not what they don't want to hear about the history of your life on it. So pick your best pieces. Try to keep it to a handful, maybe 6 to 8 if you can. If you've done a little bit of professional work, that helps. A range of abilities is good. I used to say don't do speculation pieces because you really shouldn't have to. Unfortunately, there's a lot of competition now, so I have rethought that a little bit. And also, if you do a spec piece, Ray Villafane got in the industry by doing spec pieces, and you can start to get work, and if you do a good piece, someone might buy that piece from you and put your name on it, and then you've got your start. Do good photography. Hire someone. If you're not a good photographer yourself, make sure you use good photography, and be open to criticism. Some sculptors are a little tough because they want to hear how good they are. They don't want to hear any criticism or what they're not doing well. Be your own worst critic and keep an open mind and try to use what a professional tells you. You might disagree later, you might disagree at the time, but think about it, process it, and use it. Okay? Try to talk to people as much as you can, knock on as many doors as you can. A lot of sculptors are already doing that. They go to the booths, they send out their work. It's easier with the internet now. Just send out your work, keep knocking on doors, and keep trying to improve. And the main thing is to sculpt every day if possible. People ask me how to get better, how to improve. The main number one rule is to do it often and to try to do it every day.
And I think when you're taking criticism, it's the stuff that hurts that is the truth, or it's the truth that hurts. If somebody says your eyes aren't deep enough or your eyes are too deep, and it doesn't affect you, maybe that wasn't a problem, but if it really pisses you off, it probably was accurate, and that's why it's bugging you maybe.
And the photography, man, is so important. Jarrod and I, we often say, 99% of the people who ever see this piece are just going to see the photo of it in a magazine, on the web, what have you. You know what I mean? They're not going to see the physical piece. And the photography is key.
No flash photography. Ever. Yeah, everything that Clavering said is absolutely true.
My only addendum, or my main addendum, would be originality. You know, Simon and Paul and of course the Shifletts have distinguished themselves because, and I like to think myself as well, because we have come up with original characters, original designs, original looks that have influenced other artists, you know. And I feel that you separate yourself from all the other people when you are original and when you have a vision of your own and it is clear, you know. That's overwhelmingly true, certainly in Simon's case, whose work is some of the most imaginative and mind-boggling stuff I've ever seen. But it's true in the case of all these artists. I mean, no one is an exception to this. And to that end, don't have a portfolio full of Freddies and Jasons, please. I beg you. You know, a lot of people, Predators, yes. If you're really interested in staking a claim and putting out a shingle of your own and saying, I'm a sculptor, damn it, you know, no Freddie. You cannot impress anybody with that junk, okay? I strongly recommend, and I mean, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm sure you brought your sketchbook, Paul?
Yes, I have.
I'm going to actually kill Paul. I'm going to put that out there today, and publish his book as my work. I have a place and a time and everything, so just letting you know. You've got to see this guy's thing, his book. He is a genius, for real. Again, as you page through it, as I'm sure many of you will today, the originality is simply unbelievable. It's unprecedented in any sketchbook I've ever seen. Don't get a big head. Anyway, originality, and along with everything Clayton said.
And by the way, I want to say, Clay and Barsom do incredible original stuff. They're just making so much money hand over fist doing license work that they can't stop to do their own stuff. Anything on that? Yeah, portfolios getting hired. Do you have any tips?
You know, coming from my background, I would say just, you know, put yourself online, get a website, you know, post it on forums to get noticed. You know, even if you have any incredible work, if nobody has ever seen them before, never heard of you, that's going to be a problem. You know, just having incredible work, originality, that's important. The next steps, obviously, how to get it out there, to get your portfolios printed, bring it to conventions like this will help. But something that you can do on your own is just post your stuff online. You know, post in as many forums, bulletin boards as you can. That will give you the exposure.